We are living in the agile world and it is an extraordinarily challenging time. The information technology industry of India is the backbone of the Indian economy and brings more than $100 billion of foreign exchange reserves to the country every year and contributes around 7 to 8% of India's GDP, and the pandemic has given the chance to the industry to expand further. However, the laws related to information technology, that is IT, information technology enabled services, that is ITES, business process outsourcing, that is BPOs, are still in the license permit Raj era. A press release of the Department of Telecom reads, it is clarified that the registration requirement for OSPs has been done away with altogether and the BPO industry engaged in data-related work have been taken out of the ambit of OSP regulations. In addition, requirements such as deposit of bank guarantees, the requirement for static IPs, frequent reporting obligations, publication of network diagrams, panel provisions, etc. have also been removed. Similarly, several other requirements which prevented companies from adopting work from home and work from anywhere policies have also been removed. Riding on the growth opportunities in the United States and Europe, the Indian IT companies posted double-digit growth in the last 3 decades. However, in the last few years, these markets have saturated and therefore the companies are looking for new avenues of growth in terms of services offered as well as geographic areas covered. The Indian government is aggressively promoting medium and small ITES and BPO companies in non-English speaking regions like Africa, Latin America, China and Southeast Asia because language of English is essential for coding at the commercial levels and therefore these countries cannot train software engineers or BPO employees in large numbers. Lastly, there are certain announcements like production-linked incentives, that is PLI, to handset manufacturers, to liberalization, modernization of the industries which are under the ambit of these ministries would help the country to become a $5 trillion economy by 2025. Let's look into today's headlines in War India. I will be president for all Americans whether you voted for me or not, says Biden. After winning US presidential elections, Joe Biden tweeted, America, I am honored that you have chosen me. The work ahead of us will be hard, but I promise you this, I will be a president for all Americans whether you voted for me or not. He added, I will keep the faith that you have placed in me. He called for Americans to come together after years of partisan rancor. He further said, to make progress, we must stop treating our opponents as our enemies. We are not enemies, we are Americans. PM Modi congratulates ISRO after successful satellite launch. PM Narendra Modi congratulated Indian Space Research Organisation, that is ISRO, for the successful launch of the 51st mission of Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, that is PSLV, on Saturday. He praised the scientists associated with the mission and said that they had overcome major challenges posed by the spread of coronavirus disease to ensure a timely launch of the vehicle. He further added 9 satellites, including 4 each from the US and Luxembourg and 1 from Lithuania, have also been launched in the mission. 75% of industry workforce may continue to work from outside office, says IT Secretary. The IT industry may not get back to the old style of working from office and around 75% of the workforce may continue to work from outside the office going ahead, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, that is METI Secretary Ajay Prakash Sharni said. He further said that the IT industry showed resilience during the lockdown with up to 97% of its workforce working from home or anywhere they found suitable to serve not just domestic but global clients also. CERT-In is warning companies in India to be careful on the new ransomware. CERT-In has alerted organizations to watch out a new ransomware referred to as Egregor. As per CERT-In, the Egregor ransomware breaks into organizations' IT techniques, steals delicate information and runs the malware to encrypt their information and threatens mass media launch of company information if ransomware just isn't paid in due time. CERT-In is recommending commonplace protocols that apply to safeguard in opposition to most ransomware on the market. Cognizant's growth becomes significant in 2020 after acquiring 8 digital firms. While industries were struggling, Cognizant Technology Solutions was busy in acquisitions to build its digital business, and the company has successfully done 8 digital-based acquisitions till this year. And all of these acquisitions are primarily in the cloud computing space, aiming for fast growth in digital business. Cognizant is one of the world's leading professional services company, transforming clients' business, operating and technology models for the digital era. Income Tax Department found 1,000 crore black money in a Chennai-based Infotech Infra Group. There was a raid carried out on November 4th at 5 locations in Chennai and Madurai in Tamil Nadu. The Income Tax Department has conducted searches in the Group IG3 Infra Limited, formerly known as Indian Green Grid Group Limited, and detected rupees 1,000 crore alleged black money and possible instances of holding of Benami assets, and it has suppressed foreign income received in the form of share subscription equivalent to rupees 200 crores, which is taxable in India, in the hands of the shareholder, says the Central Board of Direct Taxes CBDT. Now schools are the easy targets for cyber attacks. With thousands of schools and colleges shifting to remote admissions, learning and exams after COVID-19, there is an increase in the targeted phishing email attacks. A report shows there are over 1,000 spear phishing attacks targeting educational institutions in India between July and September. In August, University of Mumbai's Institute of Open and Distance Learning had to call off exams after its server was hit by a cyber attack. In June, students of Manipal Academy of Higher Education, that is MAHE, alleged that the institute's online exam software was infected with the malware and crashed their systems. MAHE had refuted the claims. FASTags made mandatory for all four-wheelers from January 1st. The Ministry of Road Transport and Highways on Saturday announced that use of FASTag will be mandatory in all four-wheelers from January 1st, 2021. It had further been mandated that the renewal of fitness certificate will be done only after the fitment of FASTag for the transport vehicles. Moreover, a valid FASTag has been made mandatory for getting a new third-party insurance through an amendment in Form 51, that is Certificate of Insurance, and it would be applicable from April 1st, 2021. OYO receives rupees 634 crores from its parent entity Oracle Stays. In a bid to financially support the operational and business requirements of OYO's India operations, it has received rupees 634 crores from its parent entity Oracle Stays. Filings sourced by Toffler revealed. Oracle Stays received around rupees 5,976 crores in March from SVF India Holdings and founder Ritesh Agarwal controlled investment entity RA Hospitality. The pandemic has hit the hospitality sector as customers or consumers restricted travel while intermittent lockdowns impacted operations. PUBG signs a deal with Microsoft Azure to return to India. PUBG's parent company, South Korea firm Krafton, has signed a deal with Microsoft under which games including PUBG Mobile that are developed by Krafton or its subsidiaries will be hosted on Microsoft Azure. As part of the deal, the games including PUBG Mobile will be hosted on Microsoft Azure to ensure personal data protection through Azure. They will also introduce a verification process to ensure players' personal information storage follows local requirements. Summing up, at present we are living in a volatile environment, and Dr. Sanjay Bahal, Director General CERT-In, mentioned it as AJA, that is AAJA. Further elaborating on this, he said, we are living in an AJA environment. The first A refers to asthirata, means volatile. The second A refers to anishtita, means uncertain, that is lack of clarity about the present and the future. The J refers to jatilta, means complexity, that is the multiple factors which are impacting key decisions. and the last A refers to aspashtata, means ambiguity, that is lack of clarity about the meaning of events. So why is it now that we require acceleration of business transformation? Because now we are living in this agile world, and this is an extraordinarily challenging time where this pandemic has given rise to a contact-free economy which is accelerating digital business transformation, and it is changing our society, government and industries. So businesses are now taking informed data-driven decisions and making choices which have the potential to shape our economy, policies, digital India, culture and society. We need to decide what kind of society, government and industry we wish to create rather than trying to foresee the kind of society, government or industry that will be created. So what would be the building blocks for digital transformation? It requires connectivity. Without it, obviously, there is no digital transformation. So once you have connectivity, the tools, etc., then you should know how to effectively use them. For that, you require skills. Once you have these, you need some policies to address the security and privacy issues in the digital transformation, and also you need governance and strategy coordination. With this, let's wind up for the day, but do not forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to War India News Magazine. Please download the War India app from Google Play Store for the latest news and updates. Stay tuned. Thank you.